Hi everyone, I want to bring you another update of Domination Land, Sea, and Air. Hopefully you enjoy this update. I have a lot to show off, a lot of work that's gone into this. So first of all, widescreen display. I'm broadcasting at 5120 by 1440. Now I know that YouTube will bring that resolution down for the data compression and such, but it looks beautiful for a strategy game. Going to support a lot of different resolutions for you. Here's the game. Let's go through a few of these updates. First of all, the persistency. I love the unit orders above them that I had in the last update. I've removed that just where you hover. All right, it gives you the current order. All right, and then if you can click on it, and then it goes away. And if you give it a new order, it'll bring it back and fade it out very quickly. And I landed on this. A few comments from you gentlemen. Would love to get your feedback on this change. A little bit overwhelming when they're always there, but if you zoom out far away and I click, you can see the two orders units that it affects, their orders. I really like that to say, hey, it's these two units. Now I do, when you have them highlighted, hopefully it shows up, they're highlighted in yellow now if they're selected. I also have a portrait over here on the UI. I've redone my icons and how the controls work. I can drag box select, so I can box select units and select them. The first one selected is the one in the portrait view. I'm going to add information here in the future. You can also, on the right, you can double click units and it will center the camera on that unit. It keeps your perspective, so if I move the camera like so, and I double click, it doesn't change orientation, but it will move the camera to that unit. All right, I can tell that to take off. And besides the user interface, I've got some new content for you too. Look closely here. I hope the sound's not overwhelming. I have positional audio as I get closer to these. The in-game audio will run up. That's probably this helicopter right here that's being so loud. Let's move it out of the way. Give it a second to move over there. I'll zoom back in. I want you to see I've got an F-35 here. I also have a helicopter. I think this is CH-46. It's in a park mode. So in park mode is new for me. I have a new graphic associated with it, in this case, folded rotor blades. And you can't issue orders to it. So it doesn't accept the order that I'm trying to give it, right? The F-35 on the deck is now an aircraft. So if I right click and tell it to take off, it's going to complete its animation. Elevate. As you can see, it clicked order move to when it finished the takeoff sequence. And it has a minimum flight speed to stay aloft. So you'll just see it circle around. That's been a lot of work. I mean, as far as the graphic, the user interface, the AI, you'll notice that it had landing gear that were down, and after it took off, it raised the landing gear. Same thing on my Osprey. Same thing on the CH-56 heavy lift helicopter. They raised their landing gear. So those are some elements that I've implemented. User interface, new features to the game, new units. One last thing to show off, if I elevate the screen, I've done lots of optimization. I was getting 100 frames per second there. As I zoom out on the world, now I'm getting 69 frames per second. But I am 22 miles by 22 miles in this ocean now, where before I was less than a mile in each direction. So the world I have is rounded. I'm calling out from a radius, and as I move, it's adding additional drawing sectors of the ocean in front of me. And then I can turn around. I still let you get pretty far away from your units, pretty high in the sky. Double click, you can go back. Okay, but a really big world to play in, really big sandbox. So with new units, new user interface, the game is really starting to shape up. As always, would love your feedback. I've been hard at work. Another 2 or 3 months, I'm going to work on combat, particle effects, ordnances, armaments, where I have missiles and smoke trails from the particle effects. I'm going to try to add in land so I can take off and land and go back and forth between there and the carrier. A lot of great stuff coming, guys. So looking forward to it as always. Give me your comments. Show some appreciation. I really, it's been a ton of work. Stay motivated and work on all these different parts, the coding of it. But I really enjoy how it's shaping up. Thank you, guys.